Was good. So what would you do with $100,000 in personal funding? What would you do? Imagine getting approved for this card or this card or this card or this one or this one or this one. Imagine you had $100,000 in personal funding. What would you do with it? Well, in today's video, I'm gonna break down what you need to do to get $100K in credit, right? And leverage that credit to get you assets to pay you back and continue paying you every single month. So you already know what time it is. Let's get right into it. So before I give you that game, I need you to smash that like button. Just smash it one time for me, right? Hit the like button because I'm about to give you some game that nobody really gives about or nobody really talks about. So first things first, when it comes to getting personal funding and getting all these credit cards, right? You got to make sure your credit report is cleaned up. You got to make sure it's all clean. And what you need to have is at least a 750 or higher when it comes to actually applying for all these credit cards, right? You want to have at least a 750 or higher. If you have lower than the 750, it's okay to have a 680 or higher depending on what's on your credit profile. But the higher your credit score, the much better the interest rate and the much higher limits you will get, right? All depending on what's on your credit profile. But what you need to do is make sure your credit report is all cleaned up. I always talk about clean up your credit report. All you got to do is grab my letter right here, this secret letter, right? Grab this letter right here and clean up your credit profile, right? So it's gonna be in the description. You can grab that. So what you need to do is to make sure you at least have a 750 or higher. You want to make sure your payment history is at 100%, right? Don't have no missed payments. The second thing you need to do is make sure your utilization is below 7% on each credit card. So if you have 2 or 3 already, make sure it's below 7%. Make sure if you can have it at 0% when you actually start applying for credit cards, right? So make sure this is what your credit profile needs to look like. Make sure your utilization is below 7%. Average age, you need at least have 2 years plus of average age, right? Average history, you want to make sure you have at least 2 years. And how you can add that history on your credit report is by backdating your apartment. If you live in that apartment right now, you can add all that history on your credit report with it's about $9 a month to backdate all that history on your credit report so you can get that history. Or you can do an authorized user, ask a family member or friend or a cousin, somebody really close to you to add them or to get added on a credit card to be an authorized user. You don't need a credit card, you just need the history to be added on your credit report, right? What else you need to do is make sure you have a mix of accounts, right? You want to make sure you have different type of accounts. You want to have revolving accounts, a lot of revolving accounts. You want to make sure you have installment accounts, right? Student loan, personal loan, car loan, even a mortgage, right, is good because that basically shows stability when it comes to having a mortgage on your credit report. You don't have to have one, but if you have one, it's a plus, right? Make sure when you're applying for these credit cards, you have 3 or less on each credit report, right? So Experian need to have less than 3. TransUnion need to have less than 3. Equifax need to have less than 3, right? Make sure you have less than 3 inquiries on each credit report because it's very important once you actually start doing this process, what I'm about to tell you, right? Make sure everything is all cleaned up first and make sure you have 100% payment history, your utilization is below 7%, you have average age of at least 2 years plus, make sure you have a mix of a mix of accounts. You want to make sure you have at least 5+ accounts on your credit report that's basically belong to you, and make sure you have no more than 3 hard inquiries, right? This is very important when it comes to applying for funding, right? So if you want to get 100K in funding, basically what you want to do is start with Chase, right? Chase should be your first recommendation. You want to start with them because they have the 524 rule. You can't have too many accounts open within the last 24 months. So what you want to do is make sure you start with Chase. Once you start with Chase, you apply for the Chase Freedom or Chase Freedom card and apply for that first, and then you're gonna work your way down, right? So you're gonna go, so Chase pulls Experian. See, a lot of people don't know what pulls what. So Chase usually pulls Experian. So depending on what area you're at, most of the time they're pulling Experian. So you want to get at least 3 to 4 accounts on Experian. You want to get 3 or 4 accounts on TransUnion. You want to make sure you have 3 to 4 accounts on TransUnion. You want to make sure you have 3 to 4 accounts on Equifax, right? And how this basically breaks down is you're going to lock up your TransUnion, you're going to lock up your Equifax, right? So once you start applying for Experian accounts, credit cards, they won't pull nothing else. A lot of people don't know this trick, but if you want to get funded, this is how you do it. Make sure you're just applying for accounts that just pull Experian. So here you go, a list of accounts that just pull Experian: Wells Fargo, Chase, Amex, right? BBVA. Those 4 right there just pull Experian. There are a few others, I can't think off the top of my head, but those, just the 4 on top of my head, pull Experian. What pull TransUnion, right? Navy Federal, Barclays, the Apple Card, Regions Bank. These people will just pull TransUnion. So 5th and 3rd, US Bank. These are the people that just pull TransUnion. Equifax. What pull Equifax? There are a lot of different places that pull Equifax. What you want to do is make sure you actually know who pulls what. So who pulls Equifax is AOD, right? Navigator, Credit Union. Who else pulls? DCU. They also pull Equifax when it comes to applying for these different credit cards. So just get a list of banks that just pull Equifax, SunTrust Bank. They just pull Equifax. So these are the list of accounts that you can basically apply for. But you want to make sure your credit report is cleaned up, and you want to apply for them all at one time. So if you're doing Experian, you just want to apply for all. Just open up an application for all 3 or 4 of those banks. And if you want to do TransUnion, do the same thing. If you want to do Equifax, do the same thing. Just do it step by step, and I guarantee you'll start getting approvals in no time. And this is how you basically leverage these credit cards right here to actually help you build your business, start getting funding, so you can go ahead and make more money and pay them back and continue doing the same process over and over and over, and until you have enough different streams of income coming in. And this is how you leverage these credit cards to actually start paying you. And if you want to get free travel, right, you want to get a credit card that has good rewards when it comes to traveling and good benefits when it comes to actually traveling. So you want to look at the Barclays card, you want to get the Amex card, you want to get the Chase card. These are the different type of cards you want to use because they have a lot of points. Anytime you use them, you get in points, and you can go ahead and use and get free. You can redeem the points to actually get free benefits to travel. So make sure, I hope this helps you out. I hope this is giving you enough good info to get 100K in funding, to leverage your credit, to get you some money to actually help you fund your business. So I thank you for watching this video. Make sure you hit the like. Make sure you grab my secret letter if you need help fixing your credit. And if you have any questions, drop them in the comments and I'll reach out to you and I'll respond back to you. Thank you. I'll see you on the other side of good credit. No days off. See y'all.